In this video, we take a look at 5 great books that every DJ should read. Find out which ones those are coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video.
The first book we have is How to DJ Right, The Art and Science of Playing Records. Now this is probably one of the first DJ books that I ever saw in a bookstore or online, and it's a good primer of not only how to DJ, but the history of DJing as well. You get some pretty technical stuff in it, mixed in with some of the other stuff in there, so you go over things like song structure and just the way to phrase your mixes. So if you were just starting out and you want one book to try to give you, some of the basics as well as the history of learning how to DJ, you might want to start here. Next up, we have another classic at this point, DJ book, Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, The History of the Disc Jockey. This is more of the history of DJing, first-hand accounts and a trip through the history of the different clubs and just the overall culture of DJing, more so than it being a technical book. Gives you a little bit more about the culture and the people that were there and the scene and just the vibe of DJ culture and how it's evolved over time. So if you're really interested in learning that, because it is important to know where the culture started and how it's kind of progressed through the years up to where we are today, this is another one of these books that I highly recommend. I'm a firm believer that you need to study what's gone on in the past to get a real grasp of where we should be taking this craft in the future, and this is a great primer and starting point to learning that. Here we have another technical DJ book. This is the Scratch DJ Academy's guide on the record. I am kind of partial to Scratch DJ Academy just because I have friends that actually instruct there. Shout out to Verse at Scratch Academy LA, and they put out a really good product. They've been in the game for a long time, probably one of the first actual DJ schools that were around. Started by the legendary Jam Master Jay of Run DMC fame. Scratch Academy has spaces across the US to learn to DJ, from LA to New York to Miami. They're all over, and for good reason. Like I mentioned, they've been around the longest and really give students a good base of learning how to DJ, not only just the technical side, but dealing with the ever-changing DJ world as far as the gear is concerned, and how to manage your library, and even like how to manage business side of it and getting gigs and all that stuff. So their book is another one of these books that give you a lot of the technical information as well as giving you some of the culture as well. So if you're looking for one of these books that's not how to DJ right and want to learn both the technical side as well as the culture, check out this one. This next one is more of a coffee table DJ book to me. This is No Sleep NYC Nightlife Flyers from 1988 through 1999. Of course, this one is by the legendary DJ Stretch Armstrong from the Stretch and Bobbito show fame. This is, like I mentioned, a coffee table book, just something nice to have to flip through to get some inspiration and just some nice, not really light reading, but it's just a nice one to browse through and maybe give you some ideas, and really more of a conversation piece than anything. But it's nice to have these kind of things around. Being in a creative profession, having sources of inspiration is always important and something that you should really be concerned with as well. And the further you go on in doing anything creative like DJing, you'll learn how important having these sources of inspiration are. And finally, we have Life and Death, Sex, Drugs, Money, Plus God. This is Russell Simmons' book, and it's more of his journey through starting Def Jam and making his way through, hip-hop history at this point. Def Jam is definitely one of the biggest and greatest and longest-running hip-hop labels ever. They've had some of the best hip-hop artists of all time, spanning from all the way from Run DMC to LL Cool J to Jay-Z to DMX, Redman and Method Man, and the list goes on and on and on. So if you're interested in learning that side of the DJ world, where the music's coming from and the people behind it, this is a great primer. Russell Simmons, definitely one of the first hip-hop moguls, from starting Def Jam to Fat Farm to all his other endeavors. He's always been an innovator and always been one of the most important moguls in hip-hop, and getting his first-hand account is a great place to start learning that history.
So those are 5 great books that every DJ should read. So question of the day, which one of those books are you most interested in? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.